for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.
Hey Thrifties, welcome back to the Get Thrifty Podcast, brought to you by ARC Thrift Stores. ARC Thrift Stores is a nonprofit thrift store chain, and I am your host, Maggie Civic, and we are all about sharing everything that has to do with shopping secondhand. So if you're part of our unique thrift culture, please contact us. We would love to promote your business and your social channels and share your stories and advice with our listeners. As always, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube at ARC Thrift. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited. We have a Colorado girlie on our hands. Her name is Alexa. Alexa is a Colorado-based entrepreneur and owner of Shop Style Cycle, a reselling business operating on platforms like Poshmark and eBay. She began reselling in June 2025 and started sharing her journey online in April 2026. She's totally new to this world, and yet she's making a huge impact in our industry. When she left her six-figure corporate job, marketing and tech, to pursue reselling full-time, her momentum was immediate. Her YouTube channel became monetized only 19 days into her journey. We will ask all about those videos. She grew over 14,000 subscribers in just 3 months. She had an obsession with thrifting that led her to want to make the sort of content online she wished existed. Her content centers on thrift hauls, the ins and outs of buying and selling, and her new life as a full-time reseller. More than that, it's about building a business around the life she wanted to live alongside her husband and 2 kids. Alexa shares the honest behind the scenes of growing a resale business while navigating motherhood, family life, and the reality of starting over, offering a real look at what it takes to stay present with family while building something of her own. For anyone looking to create more freedom, flexibility, and income on their own terms, she's the blueprint. We're so excited. Alexa, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. That was so nice. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we love a detailed bio on this podcast because it kind of gives people like a feel and a flair for what's to come. And I'm really excited. I want to start with your socials because you are so new to this, and yet you really are, you're going to change the industry. It's people like you that are going to keep us in business. So let's start with your socials. How do we find you online and follow you and give you all our love?
I am Shop Style Cycle on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. That's also the names of all of my shops on Poshmark, Depop, and eBay. So it should be easy to find me.
Absolutely. And your long form video, I love it. You're so real. You tell your story. I have like notes on videos that you just posted like a couple of weeks ago, but I want to kind of back up. Recently, you did do a video kind of telling your story. You have an interesting journey. Again, you're new to all of this. How did you find secondhand, and kind of back up all the way back, because you're even kind of new to this country in some ways,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was born and raised in the Philippines. I moved here about 12 years ago. And I didn't really grow up thrifting. I've always loved a good deal and I've always loved nice things, but I've always wanted to make sure that I was getting it at a good deal. When I moved to the US, I mean, I had savings, but when you factor in the peso to dollar conversion, it doesn't really stretch very far. I was really curious about thrift stores when I needed to get clothes for work and stuff, and I immediately was obsessed. Like, I could not believe the things that I could find at the thrift store for so cheap, and it just immediately became part of my lifestyle, thrifting.
Oh, I love it. And you were at a corporate job. Kind of walk us through all of that, because this is kind of a big, transition that you've had in your entire life. So
Yeah, it definitely is a big leap. It definitely is a big career pivot. I have been even when I was in the Philippines, I was in advertising, and then moving here, I tried to really rebuild my career and get back into the same industry. So I eventually was able to work with amazing brands and companies in the marketing and advertising industry.
and it just grew from there. Falling in love with thrift, when you make the leap to do something like this full time, what was that like? Because I think people listening to this podcast may be going, oh, I'd love to do that, but I don't have the nerve.
Yeah.
And it's possible, and you're evidence of it.
Yeah. So again, I've always been thrifting. Reselling, I'm only a year in. I've only started it last year. And I'm trying to remember like what actually made me start reselling. I think I was also into estate sales, and the people who were running estate sales started recognizing me because I was always there, and they're like, "Are you a reseller?" I'm like, "No, but
Maybe I
actually,
should be.
maybe I should be." And I remember my first sale was for my own closet. It was a dress that I had worn once to a wedding, and I was so excited. I wrapped it in like tissue paper. I wrote a thank you note. It was just
Oh,
really nice to, I don't know, I just like a light bulb turned on in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe I can actually do this. And I think what got me, so I started with my own closet, and then it was really scary trying to buy something for putting money and then hoping to sell it. Again, it was so new. But then there was one girl on Facebook Marketplace. She was selling her own closet, her whole closet. And I bought it for $200. And I remember I was so scared. But when I saw her closet, I immediately knew like this is worth it. Because maybe two items paid for the whole bundle. She had new with tags, brands that I never even.
why was she selling her whole closet? Was there a story there?
She was moving. And I
Okay.
was asking her, I was like, why is this all of this new with tags? And she said, I'm a shopaholic. And I laughed. And she's like, no, it's not even funny.
an
Like it's a
addiction.
problem. And I got so much money from that girl. But it was really what got me started, like, oh, I can actually do this. And I immediately started a bank account that is just for my profits from reselling, and I didn't touch that. I wanted to see how much I can actually grow, the reselling. I wanted to see how much money I'm actually bringing in and if this was worth it. Even just as a side hustle, I saw that, money slowly growing, and it was just so motivating. And yeah, I just quickly became obsessed with it. And then when I quit, I wanted to take a break. That was the original plan. But
Sure.
again, I was just so obsessed with reselling that I decided I need to just go all in. This is my only opportunity to do that. And like you said, like the growth was so quick that now this is what I do. And it's pretty amazing because this time last year, I wouldn't have imagined this at all. Even talking to you about this is
Oh, I
just
love that.
unbelievable.
I mean, and what an inspiration. Can you point to that very first video? Talk about it. Like, I mean, it has to be scary. You're putting yourself out there. Walk us through that. Cause I think there's probably someone listening today who's like, can I look
Yeah.
at the camera and tell my story,
I think the one thing is I'm such a perfectionist, but I really wanted to let go of that because that's what always stops me from doing things. And so I wanted to provide quality content, but I wanted to make sure too that I'm not obsessing over it being perfect. And I think
Good advice.
by doing that, people saw like the authenticity too. I looked at YouTube honestly as a hobby because I was like, well, if reselling was going to be my full-time job, YouTube can be my hobby. And all it was really me documenting this big life change that I'm saying goodbye to corporate, and I'm going to document how much money I'm actually making from the beginning and kind of show the growth, hopefully, with, yeah, like an audience. I was hoping to really connect with other resellers.
And did that work?
I didn't
Did it work?
expect. Yeah, it was really interesting because I thought that my audience was just resellers, but I've had people reach out to me saying that they were so inspired by the story and they're trying to carve their own path outside of the 9 to 5. And so it just really evolved into more than I could have ever imagined. But yeah, it started I was maybe expecting 50 views, and I didn't expect it to grow so much. I think my third video, which is the one that really blew up, is like over 400,000 views now, which is
And
crazy.
what was the content on that? Someone right now is listening to their radio going, ask her what the deal was. The video number 3, what was the deal with it? What popped off?
I said I quit my 9 to 5. Here's how I make money reselling.
Yes, there it is.
And so I think a lot of it is curiosity, obviously, like how do I make money reselling? And also the timing of, I think people are starting to get burnt out by corporate. I never want to speak ill of corporate because I've learned so much from it, but I
Sure.
think it's just the environment right now. I think it's also the timing. People are just really curious about what can I
Yeah.
do outside of the traditional path.
Absolutely. These discussions are starting to come up, and I'm excited that reselling is even possibly part of the conversation.
Mhm.
You are awfully young to do this, and it's a leap of faith, but it's got to be so rewarding too. I'm looking at, the background of your house, and we discovered before this podcast, we're not going to give too much detail, but that we are sort of neighbors. We live in Castle Rock, Colorado, a very growing suburb, but it's so funky and cool, and it's a great place to raise kids. It has to feel good to like be able to walk the rock and, hang out with your kids and do this on your own terms instead of having to punch the clock 9 to 5.
Yeah, that is definitely my main motivation, is I wanted to build something that worked around my family and my kids instead of trying to fit my kids into work, which unfortunately that's kind of how I was feeling at the end of like last year. And it's really nice because now the kids get to be part of this too. Like they go thrifting with me. I'm so excited for them to grow up and hopefully love thrifting as much as I do. I can definitely see it now. They pack orders with me. So if you receive a package from me and the thank you sticker is a little wonky, it's because my 6-year-old helps me put the thank you stickers. And
Oh, cool.
it's just been so rewarding to, have them see what it looks like to build something like a life that's fulfilling. I was packing orders one day and my 6-year-old, she goes and says, "Mama, I'm so proud of you. You work so hard."
And she
And
gets to see it. That's
I
amazing.
got teary-eyed because it's those little moments that really remind me why I took the leap. And yeah, it's just maybe maybe I'm doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's give a shout out to some of the places you go to, just in case who knows, maybe you'll get recognized too. Please let us know if someone says, I heard your interview on the Get Thrifty podcast, because you are local, you're shopping Denver, you're shopping Goodwill bins, shout out some of your favorite places. Where are you going? What are your hidden gems that maybe people don't know about if they're listening today?
I am a big Goodwill outlet shopper just because I want to keep my cost of goods really low. And it also makes me feel better because that's like the last stop before the landfill. So I really feel like I'm saving all these clothes. So definitely all the Goodwill outlets in Colorado. There is this, I wish I could remember the name. There's like a small thrift store in Woodlands.
Oh, down south. Oh, so you go
Yes.
south instead of north.
Yes, but I really go there because we go fishing there, and it's like a nice local thrift store.
Dark, yeah.
Let me look up the name.
Yeah, I would be curious. So that's interesting. So Castle Rock, for those of you who don't know, is kind of, we're as Denver suburb, but we really are super close to Colorado Springs. So we do have
Yeah.
the luxury of driving south and hitting a ton of thrift stores. Tell me you've at least been to North Academy, or the big arc on North Academy as you're going down
Oh,
the
I
Woodland.
actually haven't. I need to check it out. I'm really was just hoping that we could have an arc in Castle Rock.
Yeah. Oh, let's
'Cause that would
cross
be
our
amazing.
fingers. That would be
Yes.
my joy.
But the one in by Colorado Springs is Elevated Upcycle Thrift, and they do a lot of $2 sales of their whole store.
Oh, cool.
And so whenever I'm there, it's just a small space. I think they're family owned. And I remember I even reached out to her. I said, "Hey, if you're like overflowing with inventory, like I'm a reseller." And she was open to it. They get so much stuff
Yeah.
that they give things away basically for $2. So
Ooh, that's a win.
definitely check it out. It's just a really small store.
Now, have
by
you done our
Woodlands.
$2 jean sale? I hope you have.
I can never make it.
Yeah, it's on a
To the
Friday.
two-
Yeah.
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 And we have
I
our
have
99-cent kids sale coming up too. It's in August this year.
Yeah.
Coming
I know
up.
I need to be better at that's something that I definitely need because I'm so spoiled with the Goodwill outlet.
Yeah.
I'm not as in tune with like the sales that are going on like regular thrift stores or even like consignment stores. I know they do a lot of like discount days. I need to be better at keeping track of those for sure.
Yeah. And one thing, we're in this summer, and you actually did a video on it. I remember the summer slowdown. I'm not sure we've ever talked about that being an issue on this podcast, and I've interviewed hundreds of resellers, but I like how you kind of shined a light on there being a slowdown in summer. Can you talk about that a little bit? I want people to, be aware of it if they're new to this and learn about this topic.
Yeah. Usually during the summer season, resellers see a slowdown in sales, whether that's, people just being on vacation and not just shopping online, or also you sell more substantial pieces during the colder months, like you're selling sweaters and coats. So they're usually more higher value versus in the summer, it's like shorts or maybe dresses is like the best thing to maybe sell right now. And I definitely felt that this summer, not just because of the summer slowdown, but also I'm also kind of slowing down because I have my kids at home, and I definitely try to be transparent about that in my YouTube channel and just show how much I'm making versus like last month in May was a really great month for me. But yeah, it's just slow, and I am just trying to accept the fact that's just part of,
Yeah, weathering the storm.
reselling. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. And also, like, my growth has been so fast. I got monetized in May or April. It all started growing right before summer break. And I honestly was overwhelmed because my kids were about to be home, and I have this reselling business growing, my YouTube growing. It was all just happening at the same time. And so I'm just trying to give myself some grace, the summer break too. And
Yeah.
I know that there will be seasons where I can work even harder and hopefully make up the money that I'm not making this month.
This might be a really treacherous winter. That's what they're saying. It could be a really rough one. And I always think like when it's snowing and crappy out, it's so great for resellers because you guys can hunker down and like literally package everything. So
Yeah.
talk to us about what you specialize in. If someone goes to buy from you, do you have a certain aesthetic, things you focus on, things that you're an expert in that you're selling? What is your vibe?
Ooh, at first I thought I was going to be more of a style-based reseller, but I've
Yeah.
also learned a lot of brands. Honestly, I don't think I have like a specialty. It's all women's. I'm trying to learn men's because I've figured out that men, they don't lowball me as much. So
Yeah.
that's like, I'm trying to learn more of men's clothes, but it's a lot of women's right now. I definitely do a lot of vintage and modern pieces. So I don't think I have like just a specific aesthetic, if you will. I have a lot of boho and modern pieces too. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's all over the place. I
And
just try
men's
to
clothing is,
research what's selling.
yeah. And men's clothing is a hot commodity right now. It's
Yeah.
the men's t-shirts can go for a lot. Did you go to ThriftCon this year?
No, I didn't. I
Oh,
missed
girl.
it. I have some friends my online friends from like TikTok that I
Yeah.
saw participated in ThriftCon. It looked so fun.
Oh my gosh, you've got to check it out. It's now nationwide. They've got, shows all over the country, but Denver is where it started. It's a big deal. If you get to go next year, check it out. It's worth it. It's just such a great vibe of, local vendors, a lot of out of state vendors as well, but you can make some really great friends. And there's these great upcyclers too, and recyclers that are doing amazing like works of art. It's
Yeah.
just a vibe. It's definitely you
My
would love
gosh, I definitely want to get into upcycling
it. It's
one
so
day.
fascinating. Are you a sewer? Do you
I
touch
did.
clothing?
Well, I do so. I did. I bought actually just a bunch of fabric
Yeah.
this past week because I wanted to make some like cafe curtains.
Yes.
But yes, I do so. So
If you
maybe
get
eventually.
into it, please keep us posted. We're learning more and more makers, that are buying their materials from thrift stores and upcycling into these like beautiful works of art. If you get into it, please keep us posted on.
Yes, yes, of course.
Let's see. One of my other questions for you was about YouTube monetization. And I love when we first started chatting, you talked about income transparency and how important that is. And I think that is something that probably has helped you grow your subscribers too, because people gatekeep these like pieces of information that are so critical to young people finding their voice on YouTube and really making a living from it. Can you kind of share with our listeners how it happened, exactly what you did, and what the possibilities are? I think the details are, people are like, this is some sort of grand mystery written in the stars that I can't find out about it. And you're very open about it.
Yeah, so my first video was all up basically on introduction of I quit my job, I'm a reseller now, and here's everything that's sold. And then eventually my third video, like I said, I started to show my whole process of going to the bins. This is how I photograph everything. This is how I list. And those two videos really took off. And I think that was a huge part of me gaining like the momentum that I did in the very beginning. And I was monetized after just 19 days, which is crazy. And then my first paycheck was $2,000. And I've
Amazing.
watched like people share how much they make money, how much money they make on YouTube, and I was expecting pennies. I don't understand like how the algorithm works or how they decide like how
It's
much they pay you.
that part is a
But
mystery.
I don't understand it. But either way, I'm very grateful because it's just a sign that, maybe I need to keep going. And I am starting to take it more seriously now. Again, I looked at YouTube as maybe a hobby, but now it's quickly becoming part of the business. And like I said, summer slowdown is happening right now. So YouTube is definitely helping with my income this month when reselling is down. So it's just been, yeah, a really amazing, unbelievable journey. And I'm so happy to be connecting with a lot of people online.
And give us the nuts and bolts. I loved how your video about monetization really explained, here's the threshold, here's the number you need to be at. Did you reach out? Did they reach out? I mean, I'm asking like the nitty-gritty of this process.
Yeah, so I think you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I remember thinking 4,000, like that's crazy.
No one will
But
do
I
that,
think,
but it's possible.
yeah, it is. And I'm like gonna check real quick to see like how many watch hours I have now. 10,700 in the past 28 days.
It's amazing.
That I can't even like it's just crazy to see how many people have connected with the story. And again, I think, like you said, part of that is I do try to be as transparent as possible. I'm showing how much I'm actually spending and how much I'm making in profits. And I think I was a consumer of this content before, doing all this. And I just tried to make videos of what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see just the sales numbers. I wanted to see your actual profit. And I think that was very helpful in definitely not setting unrealistic expectations of I'm making bank with
Yeah.
reselling, and just sharing the truth and the challenges along the way, I think has been helpful for the audience.
Let's talk about your audience. You have great engagement. I love seeing how people like comment on your videos and chat with you. Can you share with us like people you've met along the way that have been really helpful or inspirational to you, or people, maybe a story about someone that you've really inspired yourself through the comments?
What is really surprising to me, again, I was hoping to connect with resellers, and I have, and I'm learning so much from like comments. Sometimes I had a pair of pants and I don't know where this is from, and they will help me tell me, oh, this is vintage, this is from this
That's
era.
cool.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing what how helpful the community has been and how generous they are with like their wealth of knowledge. But I think what really touched me is people finding me outside of YouTube and messaging me on Instagram and saying, hey, I'm a mom and I really connect with your story, and how do I get started? And as I
Love
try my
that.
best to, it's amazing. Like I try my best to like respond and, help them get started. And now it's opening it like my ideas. I'm like, maybe I should have a newsletter. Maybe I should have digital products to help people get started. It's just really evolving in a way that I, again, would have never expected when I first uploaded my first YouTube video.
Which is so exciting. I mean, that you guys get to share this community. We always say on this podcast, we're like a voyeur in this because we're like the thrift store watching from afar what you guys are doing. But we're trying to like make estimates about what percentage of our customer is reselling. And every year, the growth is just since COVID. We used to say, oh, maybe it's like 5%. It was kind of this hidden thing you didn't talk about. But now we're like rolling out the red carpet for our resellers. Like, come
That's
and check us
amazing.
out. You're just as important as any other customer. You're making a living off of us. Sometimes it's these stories of single moms who are making a killing, and it's so rewarding for us to watch it. And you guys living it out loud is going to take it to the next level. And I'm so excited for that. I do want to ask, on this podcast, oftentimes we learn about different channels. We've talked about Poshmark, we've talked about eBay. You do a bit on Depop as well. That skews much younger. My son's girlfriend, shout out Brinley, she loves to she sells her closet like every other month so that she can buy new clothes. And she
That's
loves it.
amazing.
So Tell us a little bit about Depop. Give us the ins and outs. I want to make sure we're highlighting, all of these newer places where it's making money for you.
Yeah, I actually got started on Depop, which I don't hear a lot of resellers say that. Usually they started Poshmark or eBay, but I actually got started on Depop. And that's why I said I thought I was going to be a style-based reseller
Yeah,
because
it's
they're
very
definitely more style-based
fashion
there.
based. Yep.
And it's the best thing about it is there's no seller fee. So a lot of the times I'm more open to sell something for cheaper because I'm
Not
still
being
taking
charged.
home
Yeah.
a lot of the profit margins is still pretty good compared to other platforms where the fees are much higher. So I think that's definitely one of the biggest benefits to selling on Depop. And I'm trying to be a top seller. That's like a one of my goals. And basically you have to make $1,000 in sales for 3 months consecutively. So that's
Interesting.
what I'm hoping to be here pretty
Yes.
soon.
It's so funny you're so specific about that. One of the things that I really get the vibe from your videos, and I went down the rabbit hole, I'm just going to say I'm definitely a fangirl. You are really disciplined about your goals and you talk about them. How has that been, helpful and part of your success?
I think it helps keep me accountable. And I think that's also a habit that I have gotten from being in corporate. I mean, I always had weekly goals in marketing, and I just tried to apply everything that I've learned in corporate to my own business. And that was definitely a huge part of it. And again, like this has quickly evolved from like a side hustle to a real business. So I definitely wanted to treat it like a real business. And I wanted to take the audience along with this journey of like, my goal this month is $3,000 in sales. Let's see if I actually hit it. And I think that's also maybe entertaining to the audience. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they're getting to
It's
see me hopefully grow the business.
Yeah, and it's got to be helping with strong engagement going forward here. It's going to be interesting. Have you seen any signs of slowing or has your interest slowed at all?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I know that not every video is going to be 400,000 views, and I
Sure.
know that, and I'm okay with that. Like right now, I'm just enjoying really making these videos. And again, I'm at the very beginning, so I'm just excited for what's to come. There's so many opportunities ahead, and hopefully I can build more of a structure once, my kids are back in school so I can stay more consistent and provide more quality content to my subscribers.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, you're so new to this, but I mean, it's just wild growth and that's so exciting. Any mistakes or advice that you would have for someone new to this? Like, don't do this. I learned the hard way.
With reselling, and I think a lot of resellers will say the same thing, is just don't buy it because it's cheap. And I've definitely been burned by that in the beginning.
Mm.
I was just so excited that I was making money of reselling, and every time I would find something cheap, I would just buy it without doing any research. So definitely be more thoughtful with everything that you buy before you resell. And then when it comes to YouTube, I mean, it's so cliche, but really just start. Like
Get going. Yeah.
yeah, you just don't know if it's going to be your first or 10th video that's going to take off. And if anything, you are connecting with the community is so nice. I'm sure there's like aggressive, competitive resellers out there, but at least the people that I've connected with, it has been really nice to meet people either online or in person around the thrifting community.
Yeah, that's exciting. I've got to invite you too, and I'll do this offline again too, but you've got to come to our gala. It's in September. You and your husband, we do, it's a big deal for us. We'd love to have you join us as our guest.
Yay.
There's someone I'd love you to meet. Lauren, she's also in Castle Rock. She's a big reseller. She's like old school. She does like CU buff stuff. She specializes in college stuff and she's on eBay. I'll
Wow.
connect you with her after this because I love it that you're like local and there's so many great
Yeah.
local people and influencers that are in this world. You have been to ARC stores, correct? My notes
Yes, of
say
course.
yes.
It's
Okay.
part of my route. There's
Ooh,
one by the Goodwill outlet that I frequent,
oh, good.
and
Can you tell us which one?
I am not good at I weighs everything, so I
Locations?
don't know the exact I'm so bad at roads
It's
and
fine.
but yes, I do go to ARC a lot because a lot of the times I'll look for like the color tag sales, and I've
Yes.
gotten a lot of good luck on that, because the bins, they're fun, but it's so physically exhausting and
Yeah.
it's not always good. So
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm already an hour in and I know it's not a good day, I will go to regular thrift stores and shop there.
And get a little break. Yeah, we're
Hmm.
looking into bins now. We're curious about it. We're bins curious at the moment, and we're just investigating if this would be a good business move for us. So more to come. If we do it, we'll let our local influencers and local resellers know first, because I'm sure you guys will be
Woohoo!
first in line. So more to come on that. I love it that you love the South too. That's a really great piece of advice. If you are visiting Colorado, do not sleep on Colorado Springs. Amazing thrift stores. They do it right down there. It's such a like military community. You get a lot of people moving in and out. So that's exciting. What's next for you? Is there like something big on the horizon? Any big goals that you can share with our community?
Again, I'm at the very beginning of my journey, so I just really want to continue improving my system so that I can stay consistent with both reselling and YouTube.
Mm.
But eventually, I will want to create a website. That way, I can provide more value for resellers and have some digital products available. I know some of my subscribers have asked for just style aesthetics and how do I
Oh, there
list.
you
And so
go.
I just want to make sure that I continue to provide value to my subscribers. And so that's coming hopefully in the near future.
Very cool. Now, I've got to ask, is your corporate world missing you? Are they calling, going, when are you coming back? Are they bugging you?
No, actually.
Oh,
So
that's good.
well, it's funny because I didn't really tell, again, I was going to take a break. So I don't think a lot of people actually know that I'm
They're just
doing
going to find
this.
you on YouTube one day and be
Yeah, I'm
like,
just going
what
to
happened?
share this podcast.
Please do. We need it. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. What about like unicorn item? Can you share with us, even if it's hasn't been long, like is there a one item that you either kept or resold that you're like most proud of?
Yes, I still think about this.
Oh,
It's this vintage 70s Leslie Faye dress. It still had the union tag on it. And I wish I could explain it and give it justice by saying it, but I found it at the bins and it was in perfect condition for the age, for being a 70s piece.
oh,
And it's those pieces that just give me life. And I wish that I was cool enough to wear it. I
yes.
sold it for like 65 bucks on eBay. And I
Oh,
always wish that I could message the person and be like, can you send me a
can you
picture
send a
of,
picture of how it looks?
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, I just love finding vintage dresses. Again, I don't specialize in it, but I get really extra excited. I try not to gasp or like be very vocal when I find something, but every
So no
time I
one
find like a
knows.
vintage dress, I'm like I can't help myself. So I still think about that
That's
piece.
exciting. And
Yeah.
what about something you'd like to manifest? I always like to say, if you put it out here on this podcast, it will come to life if you manifest
Yeah. I really want something from Magnolia Pearl. I don't
it.
know if you know
Ooh,
that brand, but it
yes.
just seems like I feel like it's very Colorado. I feel like Colorado people would wear it, so I feel like it should be around, and I really want it for myself.
Yeah. Is
I
that
haven't
kind of,
found it ever.
have you been reselling mostly to in state or is it all over the world?
All over the world.
Yeah.
I love when I get an eBay order that's international
Oh,
because
it's
it's
so
just so
exciting.
cool that, I'm sending this to Japan or Australia or London. So
Yeah.
all over the world.
That's happened. I love it.
Yes, it's so cool. And I have consignment clients too. I do a little bit of consignment and I tell them like, "Hey, your pants are shipping to London." And they just get so excited. So it's been fun.
That's exciting. And that'll continue to happen. I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about reselling is it's become this like, I can't even believe the people we've talked to that resell in all parts of the world or the thrift stores that are in, Europe, Japan. It's nuts.
So a lot of the times I'm surprised what people buy and get shipped from the US to like London. Like, why
Why
this?
would you want that? Yeah, it's
It's really
exciting.
interesting.
It does really make it feel like this global marketplace, though, that we all kind of care about the same sort of fashions.
Hmm.
And reselling is making that happen. Do you have any worries about stuff? Are really at these bins. Any thoughts about there, being a shortage of the things you want to sell?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes, but that feeling goes away very quickly because there's so much. I feel
It
like
is
the world is drowning in textile. And
literally.
I actually don't go thrifting that often. People may
Mhm.
be surprised because I try to be very disciplined about only buying inventory that I can actually list. So I actually
Mhm.
don't go as often. And every time I go, I still find something.
Ugh.
So whenever a little doubt like comes into my mind, like, oh my gosh, what if there's no more inventory ever? That quickly goes away because I know there's just so much out there.
Ugh, I can tell you 1.1 million square feet of ARC warehouse space, and a good chunk of it is all of our textiles. It's nuts. So,
It's a lot.
not
Yeah,
to
there's a lot.
worry, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyone we should be following on social media that really inspires you in this journey that we could reach out to? Somebody you think is like amazing and doing great things in this world?
Yeah. So Exo McKenna, she's pretty big on YouTube. She definitely inspired me she's really more of an estate sale girl, but she
Mm.
really opened my eyes to secondhand home decor and
Oh, it's huge.
um yeah, like I always say if my house all of a sudden became haunted, I wouldn't know which one to take out because they're all like
Is it's all
vintage,
haunted.
secondhand. Like I don't know which one I would take out, but Exa McKenna, she definitely inspires me. And then Thrift Like a Girl,
Ooh.
she's I follow her because she is a good kind of model of like what people in her generation, I think she's Gen Z. I don't want to assume, but I think she's Gen Z, but like she gives me an idea of like what people are actually looking for. And she's a
Oh,
huge thrifter. She thrifts at the bins and just a really good inspiration. She's also grown so much in the past few years in her social media just by thrifting.
you guys need to do a meetup of all of you that have just recently come onto the scene and like share your best practices.
That
I'm
would
gonna
be
love
awesome.
watching this from afar. You guys are really doing amazing things. And I always like to say this podcast is devoted to normalizing shopping secondhand, but it's stories like you that are going to inspire the next gen to keep doing this. So thank you for your service to our industry. We're very, very grateful. Keep doing it.
Oh, well, this has been so fun. This has been, yeah, just a very fulfilling journey, and I can't really believe how much it's grown. And
Oh, the sky's
yeah,
the limit. Yeah. Don't stop and enjoy that Castle Rock. Maybe I'll run into you down at the rodeo.
yeah,
You never
maybe.
know.
What a
Mutton
small
busting.
world.
You have to look into mutton busting. It's
I
the
will.
cutest thing ever. Guys, reach out to her. Tell her all about mutton busting if you're a local. And then as we end every pod, I love to give a shout out to the rodeo queen herself, one Miss Dolly Parton. We do this as an inspiration to people because she is the great unifier and my personal hero. Anything you'd like to say to or about the queen, Dolly Parton?
My kids love Dolly Parton, not because of her music, but because they see her as a lady that sends them books.
Oh, that's the way.
It's such a great program that she does. She sends free books to children if you sign up every month. And it's the November or December books, I will actually wrap it in Christmas
Oh, and
wrapping
make it a
paper.
gift.
And
Yes.
I would say to my kid from Dolly Parton. And so they know who
Oh
Dolly
my God,
Parton
I
is.
love it that you are making it like she is the
Yeah.
Santa, like
Hmm.
so that
Yeah.
her legend is going to live on long past her years. That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift just gave her $2 million as a wedding gift just for the book program. So hopefully some of that
Oh,
trickles
I
down.
didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
amazing. I'm
pretty
also
big
big
deal.
Swiftie.
She gave away a bunch of money and Dolly was the recipient. And she did a great video and everything. She looks fantastic. So
Wow.
hopefully all is well in Dolly's world. Thank you for playing along with that. I hope that continues for you. Alexa, you're a delight. Tell our listeners once again how they find you, love you, follow you, and hopefully buy something from you in the coming year.
Yeah, so I am Shop Style Cycle on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And it's also going to be Shop Style Cycle on Poshmark, Depop, and eBay.
Super easy. I love it. Thanks for joining us, Alexa. Really
Thank
appreciate
you
your
so much
time.
for having me. This was so fun.
Yay. And Thrifty, thanks so much for tuning in once again to the Get Thrifty podcast. Reminder, save our pod and leave us a 5-star review about how funny, creative, and smart we are. And if you're part of this unique thrift culture, we'd love to have you on the podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Podcast with Maggie. And as always, please follow ARC on Instagram and YouTube at ARC Thrift, and now on TikTok at ARC Thrift Stores. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
Hunt for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.